Good Thursday morning, first day of summer, longest day of the year, June 21st. Looking at our fire potential impacts, we do have a combination of dry, windy, unstable conditions stretching across parts of Nevada into a good portion of southern and central Utah today, continuing across central and eastern portions of Utah Friday, and even expanding a bit on Saturday. Look at precipitation over the past 24 hours. Just a few light scatterings across the highest terrain. Otherwise, most of the area dry. We did have a little bit of lightning in the far northwestern portion of our area up in the mountains of central Idaho. These areas are quite moist still, so no major concerns there. We do have some new fire starts picking up because of our dry fuels or long days. You can see some of them out here across north and central Utah, continuing our large fire activity down a bit further south, and so we're starting to pick up across a good portion of the region, even up into parts of southern Idaho with the carryover fuels. Now, over the past 7 days, precipitation has been confined mainly up into Idaho and into western Wyoming, just a few hundredths of an inch to mainly dry across the southern half of our area. You can see that most of that is well below normal, less than 10% of normal for the week across our southern half of the area, but above normal for Idaho and parts of western Wyoming here in the purple, up to 300 to 400% of normal. So still moist up in the north country. That reflected in our ERCs, quite green to the north, and you can see our critical area continues across southern and eastern Utah, and also expanding with the yellow ERCs across Nevada and a bit further north towards the Idaho border, both Nevada and Utah. Specifically across northwestern Utah, you can see the ERCs now are above normal, almost exactly what they were last year, which was pretty active this time of year, so to look out there. Even though ERCs dropped a bit across the Uinta Basin, they've bounced back and are they're well above normal and near, not too far from record highs. Similar for some of the central mountains of Utah here, where we have current large fire activity, ERCs above normal and not too far away from record levels. Satellite imagery shows high pressure ridge building in temporarily through here, so today should be a hot day, several degrees warmer, also drier than yesterday. Weak front coming through here, you see by the thin line of clouds. This will be also accompanied by increasing winds. Not enough moisture for thunderstorm activity at this point. So for this afternoon, the upper level map on the left shows that with the tightening of the height lines here, we'll see some tightening winds in northern areas. You can see we do continue with high risk for parts of our drier southern areas, higher terrain, also the Uinta Basin. Looking at humidity, quite dry, single digits to low teens across the southern half of our area, and you can see where we expect some of those winds to be enhanced here as well, in the orange and purple gusts of 25 to 35 miles an hour. Now the front passes through tomorrow, still a touch of dryness and breezy conditions in our far eastern areas in Utah. So for that reason, we continue with the high risk through there. You can see those winds now coming out of the northwest, if you notice those wind arrows behind the front. So humidity could be a tad higher, instead of being in the single digits to near 10% in the Uinta Basin, maybe somewhere around 12 to 14%. Still single digits down south. Still anything that gets in good fuels could carry. Lighter winds elsewhere further to the west. On Saturday, a trough low pressure moves across the northern Rockies with clouds and showers, which could push into Wyoming and parts of far northeastern Idaho. You can see we have no high risk through here, but we continue dry in our southern areas. Winds will be picking up, however, in response to that low, so we could see near high risk conditions across parts of southwestern Utah and parts of southern Nevada. Fine fuels there are still a little bit on the sparse side, but we'll have to watch that a little bit. 3-day precipitation accumulation, again, only up in the north country. Parts of the central mountains of Idaho and western Wyoming could see that dark green is about a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain. Now, as we go to Sunday, high pressure builds back and we heat up a little bit. And you see some of the responses on the 7-day here by Monday. Fuels respond. The yellow pushes a bit further north. Got another front approaching. And with those breezy conditions pushing in, you see the tightening of these height lines. The northern half of our area will be the windiest. So we should see fuels dry out a little bit here in the north. Wednesday, that continues through there. So the whole 7-day period, any precipitation stays confined to parts of western Wyoming and far northern Idaho and eastern Idaho. In absence of the monsoon, look how dry it is through the whole 7-day period across Arizona, New Mexico, not to mention our areas here in the Arizona Strip and Utah. So as of yet, no sight of the monsoon. And in the long-range outlook, July 28th to the 4th, just a little bit of a hint of monsoon in far southern Arizona and New Mexico, otherwise drier than normal across most of our area, near to slightly above normal temperatures in the south, normal temperatures in northern areas. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.